Cool, we're on. All right, welcome everyone. So I'm really excited to share this with you today and begin these calls. You've all shown your passion in the oils, and that with that comes the desire to share, because we know that so many other people can benefit from the oils and the products and doTERRA as a company. So I just want to share, first of all, a little bit just of my background. Some of you would already know that, but it's been, I need to work out exactly, it's been over 3.5 years since I've been using the oils now and doing the business. I actually, I jumped in straight away. Like, it was quite an interesting story for my sister and I. We're both on a very similar journey, and the oils came into our life at the right time, and we both were like, this sounds really good, this business opportunity. We really love helping people. We're really starting to love these oils, but to be honest, we actually didn't really have an experience of them before we decided to do the business. We just had that gut feeling. We just knew, we'd been putting out there, like, we need something else. Like, I'd done my yoga teacher training, and I was like, I was looking at naturopathy and homeopathy and a few other things, and it just wasn't really aligning for me. So when the oils came into my life, I was kind of like, I think my prayer's been answered there. And I love the fact that for me, teaching yoga, I didn't really think that was enough to have people come to a class and then they go home and not really get to know them and really help them on a much deeper level. So that's kind of where my why began, is like, I really want to help myself and my family, but these people that come to my class, I want to know them. I want to build a relationship with them, and I want to be able to help them, because we're all dealing with things no matter what it is. And that's what I love. Like, I love the fact that my yoga community, or anyone I meet, they become friends. They become, you build a beautiful relationship with them, and that's one of my favorite things of the business and sharing. And so my sister and I started classes without oils, so it is possible. We only had 3 oils and a few samples, but with our passion, we basically read off a sheet. Didn't matter. We didn't really know what we were doing. And we enrolled people. We had people backpiled, like, enrolled for the first month. So when we think back, we always laugh about this because we're like, what were we doing? But we literally just went and we run with it. So it depends, and we're going to talk about the different ways that you can do this. But, it's quite a funny story, because we didn't actually have our account for some time, because Anna transferred into a position that was already had people under her. And that actually took quite a long time back in that, when we first enrolled, the systems were a bit slower. Like, things just change and evolve, like, all the time. And doTERRA is constantly evolving. And so my why now is still, my personal why is, becoming a single mum. Like, I'm so grateful that I can continue this business and it can support me. Like, I literally just don't know what I would do. And to have that trust that, everything will be okay, because what I'm doing is creating financial freedom, so I'm not worried. I'm not stressed about that. I'm not having to go to a job that I hate, 9 to 5, because I think I would just absolutely, like, be depressed and an absolute mess. That's just my personal. So I'm so grateful that I don't have to do that, and I continue doing what I love. I obviously, that why is to help people. Like, I just see the need for, with so many people, and you all, I think, are in that similar field of helping people already. And it goes further than that. Like, when I hit gold, which you'll see the ranks, I just was like, my why was like, my gosh, I can get other people to this spot. Like, I can get them to, come and enjoy, like, the events that we go to and things like that. They're so uplifting, and the company is so inspiring. And then, there's so many facets to my why, but also, like, the fact that, we get to grow. Like, honestly, it's just the most transformation I've ever had in doTERRA. Like, using the oils as a customer, you grow. Like, you can really dive into them and use them to empower yourself. emotionally, physically, spiritually, you know, whatever you choose. And I'm always passionate about helping you with that avenue. And then also doing the personal development and growing as a person. Like, we do not get any further in this business without actually doing our self-work. And at the moment, it's becoming even more meditation for me and more like quiet time to really tap into, you know, what is my alignment and this business. And, you know, it's all about alignment, aligning with your soul, aligning with your soul tribe, and and everyone that is, you know, aligned for you, and then aligning with what way works for you. So, you know, like, there is the kind of structure, I guess, if you call it, of how to build a doTERRA business, and it's really good, like, or share, you know, we're talking about, and it's really like a basic thing, and you can, you know, it's a good idea to go by that, but then create it around your lifestyle. So, you know, obviously with me having Ronnie, I can work when I like, you know, and that's really beautiful too, because at the moment, really, I only have 2 days a week, and then I get the odd weekend as well. So, you know, I can work it around my schedule. And, you know, there is days where I'm like, you know, I'm just not feeling it, and I'm able to go with that. You know, how beautiful is that, to just listen to your body and actually do what works for you. And then my why goes even further into, you know, when you get to those higher ranks, I see in a lot of the training and events that we go to that people that are earning like a lot of money, they are giving to charities, that they get up there and they just gift $5,000 just like that. And I'm just like, I cannot wait to just be able to give. Like, you know, I already give, and we can give with the oils, and it doesn't have to be a big value on it. But, you know, like, there's little things where it begins. So I'd like to go take my friends out for lunch or dinner, and don't worry guys, I've got this, just in a heart-centered kind of way. And then to go further than that and actually give to, you know, charities and things like that, and really be giving like massively, because that is doTERRA's why, you know, like, that's their culture. And that's another thing that really aligns for me, is that they are all about giving, and that's why they create that kind of culture. When the leaders get to those really high ranks, and I'm talking they're on, you know, 100,000 plus a month, you know, they're just giving, like, they donating to charities, and, you know, it becomes more about the world and making a difference in the world. Doesn't matter, like, if you're a customer, you are still helping and making a difference, to sharing, to building. Like, that's the beautiful thing as well, is that, you know, no matter what, just using the oils, you are helping, like, those other, like, if you look at source2you.com, like, you're helping those other people in poverty countries have jobs and buy their own land, and, you know, there's just so much to it. So again, another reason why I do what I do, because again, I really encourage you to, like, go to an event when you can. Always come with me. It's just such an inspiring thing to go to and really see the background of doTERRA. And every time I go, I'm just totally filled up. You know, it just makes me feel so good and so happy to be, you know, with doTERRA, doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to show you what I'm showing you today in this call is basically an overview of the build guide. Now, if you're on this call and you're thinking, you know, like, this is just to help you to get an insight and maybe help you to kind of start to find your way in what level you would want to share. Because there's so many different ways of, you know, whether you do it just really casually, or if you're wanting to go all in, there's, you know, or you can decide later and just get a feel for it. So this is really to get a feel for it, and just to get an idea of, you know, how it does work, whichever way you choose. So I'm going to share the screen, and I did share this link in the messenger chat. Just trying to find that. Is it there? Just trying to find the right one. I don't think that's it. Oh, yes. Okay. Can you see the screen now? It's showing build. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this link here, which I will send you in an email after this call, this is a great place to have a look through. It's got some really great resources. So in this page here, which I'll send you, and this is the page you'll be sent to, down the bottom is the video I just sent you. So that's a build overview. Now this will be really good to watch again, because what I'm going through, I don't expect you to get straight away. It's quite a lot of information. It's probably still been taking me 3 years to understand it fully, but you don't have to understand it all, but it just gives you an insight. And then some of these other videos are really great to watch, and there's a more in-depth compensation plan video there as well. So I'm just going to go up here, and then you can also download the build guide, which I'm going to go into. So you can see that now, big green on the screen. Yep. If you do have any burning questions, do feel free to jump in. Otherwise, we will have some open time for questions at the end. Now, there is a separate YouTube video. This basically here is talking about financial freedom and building a pipeline. You may have heard it before. This man hauled buckets for a living. Every single day he hauled buckets to another town, miles away, to a village, we should call it, to make his money. And then he sort of had this inspiration that if he just was to spend a bit of time each day digging a hole, then eventually he would build a pipeline. And so what he did is that, and oops, I just went too fast. Eventually, he'd build a pipeline, and he could turn on the tap, and that tap was running with water, and he was getting paid without having to haul buckets. So I think we all know, and like for me as a yoga teacher, that was another reason as well. I couldn't see myself hauling buckets, working like 10 classes a week and things like that. It's just not viable. For me, I'm like, no way. I don't think that's, that's, trading dollars for your hours. It's like going as a yoga teacher, you can have one person turn up, or you can have 10 people, and you never know. It can be a bit inconsistent. So I've had times in my business where I've either been sick, which is actually not often since having the oils in my life, but I know that I'm still getting paid. Doesn't matter if someone cancelled on me, a class didn't happen, that sort of thing. And then also when I was breastfeeding Ronnie, he was 3 months old, my pay increased. So I was able to pay for my bills and, all those just sort of monthly expenses. So that was really amazing. And it was so cool that I could, I also took time off.
Sorry,
like,
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sorry, my phone's trying to go on. I don't know what's going on there. When I had Ronnie, I took time off, but I was still available, as much as I needed to be, but I still, was able to take a step back and keep getting paid. So you can walk through this. There's a little bit here. Where are you right now? Are you trading hours for dollars, hauling buckets, limited time freedom, or building others' dreams? I know a few of you have definitely got your own thing happening, which is amazing. And then just go down there. That's a picture of the premises in Utah, which is where doTERRA is based. It's really great to get to know a bit on the background of doTERRA. And again, I can link you to more on that if you're not so sure. This is just a little bit why partner with doTERRA. So they are the most tested and most trusted essential oils. There's actually a 65% retention rate. So that just shows people that buy the oils, they continue to buy them because they're products that work, that's what happens. We don't just sample to people and go, oh, here you go, buy this, because, but we know from our heart that it works. It's worked for us, so that's why we want to share. So that's a 65% retention rate. A lot of other companies, I've had it happen to me. They kind of come forward with the business or something, and I'm like, I don't even know this product. I've never tried it. What are you talking about? Whereas doTERRA, we lead with the product. You can see often we sample. You had a sample to begin with of the oils to make sure that they were for you. You know, we want people that are actually passionate about it and want to live the essential oil lifestyle. So just checking in with yourself that you are using your oils regularly, because the more that you use them, the more stories you'll have and naturally, you know, share with people as well. There's actually 7 owners in doTERRA. They've been going now. This is, became a $1 billion company in 7 years. This is their 11th year that they've been going now. I won't go into too much detail of that, but yeah, their big why is changing the world. They're a huge movement in the world, and they really, their why is helping those poverty countries. So honestly, the background on that, they've opened up 96,000 plus jobs for people in those countries in that 11 years. Can you imagine what's going to happen in the next 10 years? And they're helping those people buy their own land. They're building schools. They help with training. There's so much that goes into it. They may go and build a hospital somewhere, or like, you know, birth centre. They've done that. But they have built a hospital, and so that's in Utah. And so that's where they're a huge movement. Like, they really are moving the world. And that's where they want to bridge the gap between modern and medical. So it's really something that's needed. And it just makes me feel shivery, you know, thinking about it, because it's so beautiful and amazing. Now, this says discover the possibilities. Again, like I said, if you get confused, lost, that's totally okay, because this is a little bit more involved here, and, you know, just getting your head around how this all works. So I'm just going to quickly walk through. Again, there's those videos on the previous page that you can go back and watch. And there's also a comp plan training coming up in, I think the one in Auckland's been Sasha, which is a shame, but in Tauranga and Hamilton, which I'll put those dates in the chat as well, where you can actually go and get to know. And I've heard things about it being amazing and being like really easy to understand. So don't expect to understand me fully, but this just gives you an insight and overview. So the first paid rank is called Elite. So this is basically 3,000 volume total. So you can think like a Home Essentials kit is 235 PB. A Nature's Solutions kit is about 400 PB. So just think about how many. It says enroll 15 plus people. That's based on Home Essentials kits, I think. So that's like 235 PB times 15. Now, some of you already have volume under you. So, you know, it's all based on that. Basically goes back to 0 at the beginning of each month. And then if your total volume of the people under you, so this is the people under you, it could be anyone basically, is 3,000 in volume, and it's average around 365 per month. These are average incomes. They're not 100% accurate because they're based on all the earnings. So I'll show you that after this. The next one is Premier. So this is where my pay increased. It was amazing. When I was breastfeeding Ronnie, 3 months old, like literally I don't know how I could have paid my bills otherwise. And so you actually get a bonus with this as well. So average around 939 per month. And it gets a little bit more complex. You need 2 legs. So you have 2 people on your front line there, whether they're sharing or just ordering. And then both legs, 2,000 in volume each to qualify. But the overall total is 5,000. So ideally you have each leg at 2,500 to total, or you have 1 leg at 3,000 elite and 1 leg at 2,000. And then we travel up, so to silver, you'll see it sort of really doubles. Like when you get into, so elite, premier, even silver, like they can be nice little like supplement your income and definitely pay for your products. At Premier, your products will be all paid for each month, and you'll be, you know, placing 100 to 150 PB order, and it'll be all paid for. So how amazing is that? And then silver, you can see it starts to double because we get here into the more leadership ranks. So this is where you're actually maybe mentoring people into the business, And again, that can be like, I can totally help with that. So don't feel like, oh God, I don't know how to do that. So you would have 3 elite legs. It becomes a little bit more simple because you literally just have 3 legs of 3,000 each. And you have your 3 key people that are sharing or building business. And that's average around 2,296 per month. Then we get into gold. Now, gold is where you actually can almost replace your income, obviously, 4,800. Once you get into a more solid gold, so there's like an entry level, and I can actually I'll find that graph. A couple of leaders have done a graph which has got the entry level of the rank, and then what it would be, once you've been in it for a few 3 to 6 months. This is 3 legs of Premier. So you just basically go back here and you want 3 of these underneath you. And that's gold, and that's where I'm at. So you can see it's average around 4,875 per month. Then we jump up to platinum, which is 3 silvers. So 3 of these guys underneath you, and average around 9,414 per month. So, whoops, don't want to go there. And then diamonds. So that's 4 silvers, 4 of these guys under you, which is average 16,814. So we actually get into some much bigger dollars. I'll show you how that works when you get into those higher leadership ranks. And that's where the income comes. It comes from leading others. So you're still doing your sales, of course, but you are helping others, create a business as well. Just go to the next page.
Be able to help support you understand the care models and care providers in your
Someone just come on, able to mute themselves, please. Gosh, I can't believe it's already nearly 1 o'clock. We've been half an hour already. Oh, here we go. I'll just see if I can do that. Here we go. Okay, so then you got blue diamond. We won't go too far into this. These are the upper ranks, and this is if you're like me, and I'm like, I am going for presidential diamond. That's my commitment level. I'm like 100%. I am getting there. Nothing's stopping me. I'm just going to keep working and making my way. So blue diamond is 5 golds under you, 38,630 average per month. Then presidential diamond. This is the highest rank, although there's people that are triple diamond, which means they've opened another account and got there again. So Elise Sedevy, I can also link to her. She's amazing. She's got to triple diamond, which is just incredible. So this is having 6 platinums under you, and this is where the average is about 100,000 per month. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly walk through, but this is in the video, so I'm going to really quickly just show you. But again, it does become quite complex again here. First thing you really need to know is with sharing, no matter what you're doing, and I think some of you already know this with enrolling or having volume under you, you receive what's called fast starts. So let's say you enrolled someone this month or this week, you would receive the commission next week in your account. So that's where it can really help, towards your products. And as long as you've got 100 PV loyalty rewards order, so it must be 100 PV loyalty to receive the bonus. So that's set up as a template. Again, I can help you further with that. Let's say I enrolled someone, I'd get 20%. Let's say that person, it was Rihanna, I enrolled someone and I would get 10% of that. And then her person enrolled someone, then I would get 5%, Rihanna would get 20%, sorry. So I've already confused myself saying that. That's why I shouldn't explain it. But you can see this picture, basically it works in 3s. So anyone you enroll, you get 20%. Anyone they enroll, you get 10%. And anyone that person enrolls, you get 5%. It just goes up in 3s. The power of 3 is something that is a possibility to work towards. So this is where you have a certain volume between you and the 3 people on your front line. So $50 is the first power of 3 with a 600 PV in volume. Again, this took me a bit to get my head around, but this is where these people are ordering ideally 100 PV or more, and then you're ordering say 100, 200 PV, and it totals 600. So you can make it up between these people. Ideally, if they're ordering 150 PV, then that power of 3 will be really easy to get. Then it's just about duplicating. So you have that person on the front line have their 3 people, that person have their 3, and that person have their 3. It's a $250 bonus. So highly recommend this if you are building, and you have people that are consistently sharing and placing their order on your front line, then this is so worth it, because this can just really help to give you a boost. If you're getting that bonus in the earlier months of your business, then it can really help. Now this is the next way, uni-level bonus. So this is after the 60 days that your people have enrolled. You'll see after the 60 days, it turns into what's called uni-level. So that's based on the people underneath you ordering. So each time they place an order that month, that's what you get paid on. Now, doTERRA's difference is that normally you get paid the most on level 1. They've flipped it, and you can see that you get paid the most on level 7. So that means that we can have those people on the front line and we can flush it out. So we get paid more as it grows and goes wider down the bottom, which is why we don't go out there and we get everyone to do the business. It's more of an alignment thing, and we get the people that are really passionate and interested in, doing that. So again, that's, complex here, but it becomes, you get paid more on your levels when you reach sort of Premier and Silver. Then the next way is when I said getting into the leadership ranks. This is where you actually get a percentage of the whole global profits. So when you get to Premier and Silver, you get 1% of the whole global profit. So it's just another bonus to make it really simple. Sometimes, it could be around $200 to $300. It's pretty amazing. It changes every month depending on the whole global profits. And then down here, have a look at this guide. Just switched again. And just tune into what what would make the biggest impact in your life right now and going forward. Now down here, this is really quickly, you can go over this. We are short on, got 10 more minutes if everyone's okay with that. This is where it has a little graph. What hours would you need to invest? So from this call, I'm going to send a little survey and just find out where you are at right now. Would you like to just casually go, okay, yeah, I'll have a class this month, or I'll just share when I like, totally just casual. Maybe share when you're, doing your massage and the oils, and let people know about it. You can always forward them on to me. Next week, I'm going to talk about inviting and how to, get those contacts through to some education and support. So it could be just that you, really casually would like to get some money towards your products. So that's about 3 to 5 hours per week. You'll see there. Maybe that you just want a little bit of extra cash to help pay for things each month. So that would be about 10 to 15 hours, and just working on the pipes of inviting. And again, you can always send them to my classes, education online, or whether you're actually like me and thinking, I want to go for this, and I want to have goals to reach, and you want the mentoring from me, which we do weekly or fortnightly, whatever works, and that's more like 15 to 30 hours per week, and really building a business around what you already do, children, business, whatever you have. So just figuring out where you're at on that scale right now. Again, that could change. Down here is about the pipes. So we're going to go through the inviting next week. But these pipes are what we use daily. So this is what makes it really simple, and how you can spend. And you'll see in that video that I sent, it's about the what you do in the time that you spend. So you could spend an hour on it a day, but you could be really productive. So it could be a matter of like doing the things that actually are income producing activities, inviting and presenting, which could be just having a one-on-one, doing, as you see a client, giving a sample to someone. So again, we'll go further into that through the training later. And then down here is launch your business steps. So what we're going to do once we figure out where everyone is on this path is work through the launch guide. So it doesn't matter if you are just casually sharing or doing business, like I will work with you and work, maybe that we set up a separate mentor call as well, aside from this call. But have a look at this build guide in your own time. It's got a names list here. This is great for sharing or building, to just start to trigger yourself and like, who could I talk to? And the inviting is about actually just connecting with people. It's not as though we go forward and go, hey, I've got this doTERRA thing, like, want you to try the oars. But it may be that you know someone, or you've seen someone on Facebook that's struggling right now, or you just know that would be into it. And, it's just connecting with them and then having that conversation that, you may be interested in this. It's done this for me. So that kind of thing. So I'm just going to stop sharing. Right. Now I'll open up for a few minutes of if anyone's got any questions or anything that you'd like to ask, go ahead. We'll put in the chat if you like. I'll just check my notes as I'm waiting.
Can you hear me, Kristen?
Yes.
Oh, cool. No, well, I have no questions. I was just figuring out if I could unmute it. I don't think I do anyway. Any of the others got any? That was really good though. Really good.
That is making more sense, hopefully.
Kind of.
Yeah. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I will send out an email with a few little things to work through. And then we will have another call. I'll send another email and put it in the chat with what we'll be going through next week. Is everyone receiving the emails okay?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. I'll put the dates and the link for the comp plan training. So anyone in Tauranga, Hamilton, be great to go to that.
What's that?
Yeah, it's actually an evening coming up in Tauranga where Steph, our New Zealand account manager, is going to be actually going through a compensation plan training. Mm-hmm. Where you can get a really good idea around it. And so I'll put the link to the build guide so you can work through that and have a look at those videos as well in your own time. Then, lastly is just to think about your why as well, because that's really where we begin. It's really important. I'm sure you already have some kind of why around what you do right now. But, it's something I always have to come back to, because it's not always easy when you're doing your own business and, things like that. So it's really important to stick to that. And because I know that I will never give up, no matter, I've run into many challenges and, there's been hard times, but there's so many more amazing times, and just the people and the connections and the times they go to the training are the best, I guess, that really help to reinforce my why and why I'm doing this. So have a little think about that, and if you do feel game to share it, either just personally with me or with the group, that would be amazing. So I really want the group as well to be about sharing your wins, whether it be personal or in business, related to doTERRA or not, because I think it's really great to, share that and actually think about that. I often do that on some other coaching that I'm doing, and sometimes it just takes you time to really think about what your wins are, and it's important to actually acknowledge them and be proud of them for yourself. I know sometimes I'm like trying to think like, what are my wins? But it's really good little process to do together and just lift each other up. Cool. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. It's probably going to cut out anyway in a minute. So thanks all for joining. It's awesome to see you. And I'll post the recording of this as well so you can rewatch.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye.